nerve compression and that's nerve root compression. Emma and Crawford be end up a wheelchair. Your food supplement. Yes, some Yariano, now you're to a sea cry at the amount. My youngest, I know you are me. No one makes you don't penny me calling area. Timidiananti hospitals are quite a no sabite. You know, my napping in a samba. It's your only cousin in Mindana. Timibaya mission sorts in don't be man. Prepare and Muslim here. In your piece on the Chicago, there was in Germany. Now, of course, it's the way. The common Joe and the Manuna, and still, in second chance, the Pam Timina, it's a new being common. And now, the spine center, other section. In fact, Machina Yamia, Sanayam, and Tibiabium. What could X-ray? Doctor Sabayo surgery, Minsu, no money how, meant now any arrow, put your fabra, for X-ray, now you're training in a Yacha will be a better in a come. There were branches in you, a Wakraha, Spinters, and enough condition. Just if I don't be one dia, Fabra, now you're training out, Nabia in the come. Men fat painkillers, any with Yanni, and a power, a real wafa, and your wafa, and I do that's what's alpha. The patrol kidney problem, and I will pay the amount. In fact, you pay any alpha spinal scan. It's me a detected spinal misalignment to be I watch it. There was physiotherapy, there was stress therapy, there was gym, there was massage. In fact, so we are no Uber, that's I was saying, here referrals, the referral systems, and you want to have a papa, a bit I refer, Sagana, Samanoni, now what you are, my Yarsan. It means to cry, Debra, yet you are no, when you get there are so many things that you can buy, including the book that Dr. Labia have written. Very simple, very simple in understanding your spine and the way it works, and it will give you the biggest picture of your life. I had a problem with my waist. I was virtually stiff down. Virtually, I could not move. After going through some treatment with the Spine Therapeutic Center, I am fine. I feel much better, I'm stronger, and I can walk. Now I can even give some action and joy to my wife. Spine Therapeutic Center, your spine is our concern. In fact, I was one idea boy and I was it's from the Monabra. Baby, I will free over, Ubenaka, I was circle, and ask a condition. Would you circle and a condition? What's the one car? Ufaka now, who's last of Pussy, your clinic now.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
In Ghana's evolving economy, staying informed isn't an option. Business never sleeps, markets shift, deals are made. Power moves happen. From the boardrooms to the marketplaces. From government policies to global market trends, we bring you the insights, the analysis, and the strategies that shape your money, your business, and your future. Join us every Tuesday and Thursday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. on Good Afternoon Ghana Business on Metro TV, your ultimate guide to Ghana's evolving business landscape.
Clean your compound every morning. It's cheaper than treating malaria. Don't wait for government. Lead the change.
Did you know you can make money every day on the Wanna Own game app? Here's how to play and win. Watch Wanna Own on Entertainment Review every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Metro TV. Scan the code for access, select a game, and play away. There's money to make on Wanna Own. What are you waiting for? Wanna Own, more money every day. Endorsed and accredited by NLA.
Next season on the Gen Z Show. My name is Lakisha. Join me and my guests live on Metro TV socials, Facebook, TikTok, IG, every Saturday at 12 noon. What's happening in our world as Gen Zs? Who is getting dragged? What the bloggers are saying? The latest settings in town. And of course, what's given and not given. And yes, why are Gen Zs getting fired in our corporate jobs in America?
Oh, hey Robin, how's everything? Hey, I think it's fine. I just wanted to let you know I won't be coming in today.
Really? Make a date with me on the Gen Z Show, because I'm not doing this without you. Oops. Do you like what you see? Yes, because this season is about to get more dramatic.
She's not real. It was an AI girlfriend. Okay. Oh.
So yes, I've got some interesting topics you wouldn't hear from anyone on the dating sites. The Gen Z Show, I got you.
Smart, bold, unapologetic. This is Annie Ampofo. The voice of reason, a force of media. She's the one Ghana turns to every Monday morning for headlines that matter and the conversations that shape all of us.
And on the basis of Article 34, that's the Directive Principles of State Policy, we meet here again this morning, and welcome to Good Morning Ghana.
When the afternoon rolls in, she's back, cutting through the noise, asking the tough questions, and bringing clarity to the issues that matter.
A committee to investigate containers carrying ECG cables that are meant for Ghanaians or meant to provide light for the good people of Ghana.
In the morning, in the afternoon, Annie Ampofo isn't just reporting the news. She's shaping the conversations that shape all of us. Annie Ampofo, smart, fearless, unmatched, only on Metro TV.
Back in the day on Metro TV, live on television. And on television, this is on Metro TV.
No, people take the records, and you see every time we wipe the record. There's a reason why we wipe the record, because the records, they gather dust.
These days people want to get ready because they think it gets you popular. I mean, back in the day, we could sit at a place at Treasure called the Pentagon, and we'd have a discussion about songs, and you think it was a political debate.
I remember those days at the Ghana Film Theatre, films were released almost every week, new films, and we saw long queues of people trooping to go to watch films. And then we also had video centers.
But then I think the plus we had was the fact that there were people we looked up to, and we didn't just look up to them, we served them, and they actually taught us.
Yeah. Kofi Dixon and that team, they started playing hip life. When they started playing hip life wasn't called hip life, they didn't have a name.
You are watching Back in the Days with Sammy B on Metro TV.
Back in the day on Metro TV is live.
Never throw rubbish or waste in the sea and rivers. Our water bodies are sacred. Let's protect them. Don't wait for others. Start cleaning today. The best time to act was yesterday. The next best is now.
Medina, here we come. It's the Cook Africa AU Day Cook Fest at Medina Market this Saturday, 24th May, brought to you by Gino. After walking in your Jesse with IMG and graphic communication this Saturday, come through the Medina Markets for the AU Cook Fest by the
come alone doesn't solve problems. You were a waiter.
Yes.
The waiting table.
Yes.
Were you doing well? Were you polite? Or you were traumatizing the guest?
No, I was. The interesting part about being a waiter is the tips, basically.
Oh, yes. No, but the tips come if you are courteous.
Women inspire women,
Who
I
are
tell
you
you.
inspiring now, Jackie?
I am inspiring a lot of the ladies in my company.
As much as I'll put my hands to my chest and we are to blame because we have not demonstrated enough our role, our place at the table of men.
But aside from filling the gap, I think that it sends a signal to Africa that the time has come for us to be more self-reliant.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
We believe we can always do better. Now, doing better, the champion of it will be Honorable Dr. Brian Echamo. Honorable Doctor, number reducing the or two doctors, the doctor, it is a pair. Will be our intellectual capacity, he is champion. If will be a business mogul, he is there. And we see him an academician, we see him a business person, we are both the academician and the business person. And you can one, two best with one stone. He is a symbol of victory.
Play by against you, Cocoa Board about 200 containers. AC port. 200 containers and chemicals and juice sacks. Near question, Nyama, obviously, you cry 2022-23. In 2025, 23-24, 24-25. And these things are supposed to be a report. I call demurrage. As I call auction. You check here, containers no here. All those figures are much about 200. You check here, it is a National Investigation Bureau. Investigate this idea. Well, it is the so-called 200 containers in Cocoa Board stores. We are still trying to find out how many of these containers are available, what are in those containers. Now, once we are these shipping lines are blacklisted Cocoa Board. Because once the shipping lines, more containers, and no more port now. We unyama, no more containers come back. It is a want to me unyama, no more containers, no aka, almost me come back. Not so much so essay. It is 22, 23, 24. Nyama importers, more mama Cocoa Board, or more Cocoa Board, and to me and clear Yamano. It is shipping lines are blacklisted Cocoa Board. And our shipping lines are blacklisted suppliers. Now, what is interesting is what can Yama for 22, 23? Now we say the same things for 23, 24. That was the same things for 24, 25. It is Ufa BBT said Jude Sachs. Jude Sachs company no supply. They've been blacklisted by their shipping lines. Or much petition to us, attaching all the documents. Yaba is saying one of the first meetings I'm here with the shipping lines to plead with them, to explain to them what the issue, to tell them about how NCBO, and to get them to also continue to do business with suppliers, because we continue to grow cocoa, and we continue to need agrochemicals, the fertilizers, and everything, and the sacks and all that. Now, it Sachs who imported 2 years ago. We here, a one more. They are imported this year. We here, a one more. Only for us to find out to say, no, say before we free, so no. Obasa award the contract for Sachs for 25-26. I season after the Ababekono. Oh, what they did was that almost escrow your account, Ghana International Bank will land $48 million for that money to pay for the 25-26 Sachs. It is Sachs now better than who could you hear? Now, so sign contract 25-26. And the Tabo or whatever, I hope my tree is correct on that one. What did Tabo also say? $48 million of Cocoa Board Sicano, and no young fan 2 special account to service the contract for 25-26. Meanwhile, there were 2 previous years, no? And what we are shipping lines, or my blacklist too, a blacklisted supplier. But before you left office, you went to procure for 25-26 and escrow $48 million. So these are some of the things we keep discovering every single day as far as Cocoa Board is concerned. The cocoa price is 3-1. Yeah, okay. 3-1 in November of 2024. And previously announced 3,100. Okay. That's about a few weeks to election 2024. Now, let me Cocoa Board. I teach him. I teach him. And NDC 24. Like I show. I was here about cocoa farmers. They are the end 6,000. You buy 70% of the FOB. You buy because no be any Cocoa Board. In fact, on my mama, or campaign, or Cocoa Board was bankrupt. Cocoa Board truck like TT. Actually, there's only Cocoa Board, Cocoa Board is not bankrupt. Cocoa Board is strong. Cocoa Board only for us to take over to find out. Say, no, it's a Cocoa Board nation. Say any other company, or my friend insolvent, company Cocoa Board 33 billion. That is a car. You say every day, no, you discover the I don't want to hear and then they turn around and come and tell them, oh, also to again, also to. So what got to again 26? Now we to me supply. I can see buy 66. We go for 66 and then 50%, you say 4,442. You see can. That is where the price is. But this is what we have to face. This is what we have to face. And being very dishonest, no, why I say claro. About 20, and I'll increase again to 31. If you want to claro, we take cocoa now, 3 1 hour man. Only holiday, LBC can 4,000. You only say cocoa, what on 26? It also compare 1.4 US dollars, oh baby, just to meet cost price. If that's the situation, but on my page on mama, we tell that you say, I will say, if you afford Enya, in Faso, but I will say, you mama, it's me that I catch them. They say, on my penny, this year season, you expect to see a open August 25 to 26. They have open August, you have a new producer price.
I'm a for how I had you now, every time, Mama, if you quit, if it's a fertilizer, and much of the foundation, and none of the can be out to keep a some about to give you a one. When you get your man, I'm going to be as well. It's beginning out to keep a one of what you said, Mamma.
Were you the one who said that you need X number of bats before they brought them here? Huh? You were just there the process. So it's not as if you needed a requisition.
They look at the number of
I'm saying, did you make a requisition? So you were just there the dump it and you obviously don't have need for it this year. You don't have need for it this year. You don't have need for it. So this is the year is over. Yeah, you'll be here till next season. The year is over. In terms of your CD and all that, what kind of nonsense is this? Report you give that. You have done over 90%. Yes, yes. Because when you did that report, you said you have done 90%. So why would they bring all these things here? Why do you import all these things? Why just important thing that we didn't need? They come and done these things here. Cocoa Board had a turnaround strategy. Yet we never implemented it. Under the turnaround strategy, Cocoa Board, and this was in 2023, Cocoa Board was supposed to rationalize the cocoa roads and reduce its exposure from 21 billion to 6.6 billion. I arrive at Cocoa Board. I go for an off-site meeting. All departments come and do your presentations. It gets to the roads, and I find 21 billion. And I'm like, but I thought that under the IMF program, you were supposed to rationalize and bring it to 6.6 billion. I say yes. But that was the desktop analysis. We have not gone to the field to go and actualize it for 2 years. That's why. He said, oh, we needed to take the consultants there, but we owe the consultants. So I said, who are the consultants and how much do you owe them? So it's feeder roads and highways. We owe highways 120 million, we owe feeder roads 80 million cities. So how much did you need to give them in order for them to go with you to the field to do this work, actualize the work? So if we gave highways 30 million and gave feeder roads 20 million, that would have been enough. So my question to them was that, so you needed to spend 50 million cities to engage in an exercise that would take 15 billion cities off your books. And for 2 years, this is your own turnaround strategy. For 2 years, because of 50 million cities, you did not engage in this exercise that would take 15 billion cities off your books. Look, in the last 3 weeks, I've had a meeting with my brother, the Honorable Abuja, Minister for Roads. We put together a joint team from the Ministry of Roads and Cocoa Board. This team has gone around. The same work that has not been done for 2 years. They've done it last week. They presented a report to me.
I see. Which roads are we looking at here?
Well, lots. They're quite a lot.
Okay.
They're quite a lot.
I see.
Yes.
And how were they able to do this in 2 weeks when for years they hadn't done it?
The same money that they could not pay in 2 years. At the time that we were issuing revocable letters of credit for due at $48 million, $45 million, and we couldn't do this 50 million. It's the same money that we have been able to find for this team to go out there and do this work in 3 weeks.
I see.
Cocoa Board had a turnaround strategy. Yet we never implemented it. Under the turnaround strategy, Cocoa Board was...
So that is what we have over there. So they are in the process of melting all. We followed that intel and got to this particular company located in Charles. And we realized that several of these ECD cables have been cut into pieces and then melted into rocket form, molded into round aluminum bars, and then some in powder form, which we export at very expensive prices. Now, apart from the one that we melt and sell, we also have some stock. And this particular warehouse, where the quantity you see here are from so many containers that we have been looking for all this while. We have found these cables here,
which was actually sold to them with the connivance of some Ghanaians that we are gathering intelligence to arrest. But so far, on arrival here, we have been able to pick 8 Chinese suspects and then 1 Ghanaian, who is a manager. But the owner of the company, I would prefer to keep the name for now. Is on the run, but a team is on one hand for him, and we are sure very soon he will also be arrested.
Who is this owner and what's his nationality?
The owner is a Chinese. The owner is a Chinese, and the company is known as Ponlock Company Limited. They are solely into scrap materials, that's the aluminium scrap material. They buy and mold in free product and export.
Okay.
They have only packed rims here, but we only have the rims on top, but under full with cables and
today we have to take some off to expose this side. And that is some of the evidence that we have here.
I have heard views expressed on this matter. And I must say that today is another day of sadness for the politics of the country. Because a system has succeeded in setting us up to set ourselves apart. Mr. Speaker, let me give some few facts for the Hansard of this House. I had the privilege of chairing Ghana Water. Every single reform I initiated ended up in the media, caused by the very people who perpetrated it. And in the end, it turned political.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Today is the 27th of May, 2025. Thank God we're still alive, and God has given us a rare privilege of coming back here to join the nation's conversation on what's happening in our dear country, Ghana. I will, as always, go straight ahead and look at what the newspapers are reporting on this morning. Front page of today's daily graphic, it says a graphic GCB Bank strengthening partnership. Ghanaian Nurse wins 250,000 global award. That's $250,000 global award. There's also 2,637 ECG containers retrieved. The Ghanaian Times, flood mitigation in GAR. More houses to go down. RedSec, NADMO, MMDC's lead operations. Ghana returns to bond market soon. President. Basis 2 dismisses alleged distillment of Kojo Ashong, Queen Mother. And the Sambugo solemn as Myonglana's final funeral rites begin. Daily Guide. Alexa Paul Adade wins CEO of the year again. Won't to be granted bail over Galamsey charges. Minority meets to strategize as Parliament resumes today. Cabinet exempts presidency, ministries from electricity payment. Edu behind the trial, judge orders halt to plea bargain. The insight towards protecting Akosombo Hydroelectric Dam. Akwamu chiefs back Clement Jato in bid to reclaim government's lands. Socialist movement of Ghana urges African leaders to fight the chains of NEO, that's a colonial domination. KGL Group boss Alexa Paudade honored as CEO of the year for third consecutive time. GetFund doesn't charge fees for scholarship application applicants. National security police called upon to avert a looming bloody clash at Dofo in the Volta region. Daily Post. Subdued Chairman Wontumi to report at CID headquarters today. First Lady Lordina Mahama launches Ghanasco's 65th anniversary praises school's legacy. We will sustain fiscal discipline after IMF exit. Mahama. Ablakwa catches MPP thieves at Ghana's embassy in the U.S. And that's it for the front pages of the newspapers that we have received this morning. Continue to watch Good Morning Ghana. I'll be back shortly.
anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias. It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me, Gidi said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
Gaskia, Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim Jom Kasan. Kile Hossein. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
And you will see so feeling ye. Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile. Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Fire pomudi ni agobi Ghana fu ni age efri say ya your local spices na ya frafra dia ya sankofa natural spice me de go me jollof mu ni me still ahodoma e ma ne dance
Stanley, the barbecue the go on.
sankofa natural spices and one you use 100% natural.
Adofo, mamunye huge mistake. Sankofa natural spices. FDA
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Ama, nansi mi jeno wo bin enko ye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se mi nyo basima kura. Ama me kunu ni me into kwankwa. Oh you right. Enye mo ko. Give us GC mixture and any capsules. Ah ye num boom. En ho asem na mo kana. E boa emma ene meme nyina. Na ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye bemesima. Ya, we be boa wuku. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya na nim tisese ne oyi chop mo. GC mixture and a capsule. A pin for a batter, one more menu for one kwada when if you do me a
Hello, my friends. My name is Cal Kids Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Cal Kids, happy smile.
Buy affordable service plots and lands from Estate Masters. Currently selling our next cottage, located at the newly proposed Airport City, with a starting price of 25,000 Ghana cedis. We also have Park Hills, located at Panfukuro in the Gomwa East District, also with a starting price of 15,000 Ghana cedis. Available also is Coastal Park in Akleku, which is a 15-minute drive from the Ngo Senior High School, having a starting price of 55,000 Ghana cedis. You will receive a free site plan with indenture once you successfully purchase a land from us. For any enquiries, contact the numbers provided. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
Food insecurity in West Africa isn't just a statistic. It's a crisis affecting millions, not because of a lack of land or talent, but because our food systems are struggling under the weight of conflict, climate change, and limited investment. On June 3rd, I had the honor of moderating the President's Roundtable 2025, hosted by the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, EBID, under the theme Unlocking Food Security in West Africa Through Agricultural Transformation. We'll convene leaders, experts, and change makers for a strategic conversation, one that moves far beyond talk into action. From innovative financing to climate-smart agriculture, we'll spotlight real solutions and real commitments live on Metro TV. Now it's a defining moment for our region, so do join the conversation as well, live on DSTV Channel 277 and EBID's digital platforms. Let's move together from insecurity to food sovereignty. My name is Anita Erskine. It would be an honor to have you join us.
Digital alone doesn't solve problems.
You were a waiter.
Yes.
You were waiting tables.
Yes.
Were you doing well? Were you polite? Or you were traumatizing the guest?
Oh, I was. The interesting part about being a waiter is the tips, basically.
Oh, yes. No, but the tips come if you are courteous.
Women inspiring women,
Who
I tell
are you
you.
inspiring now, Jackie?
I am inspiring a lot of the ladies in my company.
As marketers, I'll put my hand to my chest and say we are to blame because we have not demonstrated enough our role, our place at the table of men.
But aside from filling the gap, I think that it sends a signal to Africa that the time has come for us to be more self-reliant.
Woblema tesaji Yehovah. Woblema tesaji Yehovah. Honey JB fairly ake. Oh he wale na warrior.
Clean your compound every morning. It's cheaper than treating malaria. Don't wait for government. Lead the change.
Did you know you can make money every day on the Wanaown game app? Here is how to play and win. Watch Wanaown on Entertainment Review every Monday, Wednesday and Friday on Metro TV. Scan the code for access, select a game and play away. There's money to make on Wanaown. What are you waiting for? Wanaown, more money every day. Endorsed and accredited by NLA.
What if we took you back to the 2010s?
It was about time, seriously.
When love was real.
Sharp they make you really.
When friends were true.
So, I should go into Kokunsa and come and tell you girls in.
Josh, she's coming along.
Anyway, my name is Josh.
I'm Golda.
Yes, there's more to your love life than hugs and kisses.
Haven't you met her before? You mean the king is allowed Buju Junction?
She be your woman.
You did ask me. So you girls with enough money, you won't catch up the boy in money, Keke.
You had a crush on me in school.
What do you mean? Like me. You know the name, right? Buju.
Because I'll give you free kinky. Your brother is taking advantage of it, eh? Lebi, Shani, Becky. Why?
XOXO. Coming soon.
Back in the day,
your Metro TV, live on television.
And the on television, this is on Metro TV.
Yo. People take the records, and you see every time we wipe the record, there's a reason why we wipe the record, because the records, they gather dust.
These days, people want to be on radio because they think it gets you popular. I mean, back in the day, we could sit there was a place at Choice FM called the Pentagon, and we could have a discussion about songs, and you think it was a political debate.
I remember those days at the Ghana Film Theatre, films were released almost every week. New films, and we saw long queues of people trooping to go to watch films, and then we also had video centers.
But then I think the plus we had was the fact that there were people we looked up to, and we didn't just look up to them, we served them, and they actually taught us.
Yeah. Kofi Dixon and that team, they started playing Hip Life. When they started playing Hip Life wasn't called Hip Life. It didn't have a name.
You are watching Back in the Days with Sammy B on Metro TV.
Back in the Day on Metro TV is live.
Never throw rubbish or waste in the sea and rivers. Our water bodies are sacred. Let's protect them. Don't wait for others. Start cleaning today. The best time to act was yesterday. The next best is now.
Next season on the Gen Z show.
I want to eat and you tell me no. You to go and eat.
My name is Lakisha. Join me and my guests live on Metro TV socials, Facebook, TikTok, IG, every Saturday at 12 noon. What's happening in our world as Gen Zs? Who is getting dragged? What the bloggers are saying, the latest settings in town, and of course, what's given and not given. And yes, why are Gen Zs getting fired in our corporate jobs in America?
Oh, hey Robin, how's everything?
Hey, everything's fine. I just wanted to let you know I won't be coming in today.
Really? Make a date with me on the Gen Z show, because I'm not doing this without you. Oops! Do you like what you see? Yes. Because this season is about to get more dramatic.
Why are you talking to another girl?
She's not real. It was an AI girlfriend. Okay. I won't.
So yes, I've got some interesting topics you wouldn't hear from anyone on the dating sites. The Gen Z show, I got you.
Fifra ye free nyina ye de obedientia. De ya fuji ani aduane. Saasro pintin bi aseda o me. De ye di koye mu ne de awie nyina na makuafo modem mo so. Won fifre so ne nya bidio. Nanso bate aseman ga na mu a. Akuafo akoya abo pupu obo wasio na so da su kache. Wona sam fifre ma mu nyina nya bidie. Nanso mpuntudwo mu aka akiri pa. Ekwan ben ne befa so ama akuafo fifre ho abanfa so de. Aban hyehye ne dwumadi ahodo ode bre akuafo no bo wote ase. Feed Ghana ye den. Na nkokọ ketenkete so mfa so ama akuafo so ye den. Weinti na hyehye dwumadi esunkwa ya to ne akuafo mo. Ye de bre Original TV and Metro TV so. Dwumadi bebo akwanya ama mpanyimfo anim de ewa ba fukaye mu akire wadwen. Ye je akuafo ha no amane akogye mu aye e de free aba mu mpanyimfo ho. Enimi ni ehia akuafo nyonko samo honto eda joada enwumre no nso kosi ne no nwotwe e Original TV so. Saanso na da yawada enwumre no nwotwe kosi no nkono e Metro TV so. Akuafo mo Ghana akuafo abomode na yempene wo.
Akuafomo is sponsored by ACAP Compost. ACAP Compost comes in 3 varieties: ACAP Compost X, ACAP Compost Plus.
Last season, we brought you the hottest trending music videos, insightful interviews with your favorite celebrities, and some dance moves.
We also got your favorite celebrity talking about their deep, goofy, and interesting sides you and I can see on cameras and social media.
But hold up, this season we are bringing you a whole new different vibe. Spanking new videos, top 5 countdown, and the all-new segment dubbed MVC Experience, where we bring you close to music, fun, and more interesting vibes.
Join the vibe this and every Saturday on Metro Television.
Don't forget to follow us on our social media handles, MVC Official TV.
Smart, bold, unapologetic. This is Annie Ampofo. The voice of reason, a force of media. She's the one Ghana turns to every Monday morning for the headlines that matter and the conversations that shape all of us.
And on the basis of Article 34, that's the Directive Principles of State Policy, we meet here again this morning, and you're welcome to Good Morning Ghana.
And when the afternoon rolls in, she's back, cutting through the noise, asking the tough questions, and bringing clarity to the issues that matter.
A committee to investigate containers carrying ECG cables that are meant for Ghanaians or meant to provide light for the good people of Ghana.
In the morning, in the afternoon, Annie Ampofo isn't just reporting the news. She's shaping the conversations that shape all of us. Annie Ampofo, smart, fearless, unmatched, only on Metro TV.
Metro TV presents a new dating reality show.
Tell me, what's the favorite part of my body, and can you describe it with a word?
Table of Love.
Do you have what it takes to make it to the table of love?
My first heartbreak. Let me tell you. So I went somewhere to sit, and I met goats chewing grass. I sat right in front of the goat, and I asked it, have you ever felt heartbroken before?
Touching, romancing, you take me there, I take you there.
If you expect me to be an angel in your life, you must first create heaven for me. Angels don't live in hell.
Many girls will say touching when you kiss me on the forehead, please. For me, when money touches my palm, I become so wet.
What's the reason for? Yo, Madam Ase, na Madam Odia Suswasu, police for invited me. I was say, na charger, Omode, bought me, I say, Namia Galamse. Na me produce me lances a lease at the chair woman. Say, Menye illegal mining. Now said Menye Galamse, and tea, me the lances no at the chair woman. Ama, Omukle, the Tosubio, almost I can say, the year Juma, I walk forest. And also, my catcher will say, Anemia. konkoye adwuma ewo forest biya mu aye so mo evidence omo betimi ade akyere na emre bi may apply lances wo ho aso so forestry commission and lands commission and mines commission omo yese omo de honam forestry commission for so omo hwe ho into omo and a year custodian omo ye responsible omo hwe ho enko ho da it is obi ye adwuma wo ho ne ade a enye medin enye bibia edum ana ewie ye no omo ama bill two sureties ana CCR Yama bill CCR bill how much bill again you know bit I can CCR Yama bill two sureties almost is about Cocoa Board and then will come to the all market no Cocoa Board and no bread that someone take Cocoa Board for second Obia no sawo ko no akwakoye roader anya buy na mauska aye wo mum na odu sika ebeko contractor no wo na odu sika beko na obi akwakoye road ubia na highways for the Cocoa Board for no omo de omo engineers about the value aye road na wo ye na omo de boa rate omo de ma no omo de atoso e free BB certificate no marriage. When the Cocoa Board for contracts, they will say 28 days they should pay me. But ye raise it take about 3 years and say no mutuami. So Cocoa Board cannot tell me say now money won't be car. Obia no so be to obey see or now pass. So Obia no kwakoye juma dia. Me dream say juma nya dia ayebone. Madam ase.
We're live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Now, this show is also live on 94.1. So I keep saying that those of you who want to monitor the show on radio, please do tune in to 94.1 FM, and you'll be able to watch or listen to Good Morning Ghana live on your radio dial. Now, this radio station doesn't have a name yet, but what I can tell you is that it's crystal clear. You can hear everything that is talked about or discussed here on the show. Let me say a big thanks to Polytang. Polytang is making it possible to bring you Good Morning Ghana today. This is Ghana where you only get deceived if you're not sure of what you're buying or you don't even know how the market operates or how the market works. Now, when it comes to water storage tanks, the name we all know is Polytang. It has been with us for over 30 years and it has been trusted by all these generations. So make no mistake, always choose Polytang for guaranteed quality. It's available at the same price across the country at Polytank partner shops, be it Rambo, Hippo, Sumo, or Super Sumo. Durability is always assured. Polytank, the original, always the best. Papano and Kasa. So, joining us this morning is Mr. Ernest Adade, who is the member of the MPP's communications team. He's my guest this morning. Also joining us shortly will be Desmond de Graft Kwesi Petu, who is the Member of Parliament for the Gumwa East constituency, representing the NDC. But first, let me say good morning to Ernest. Ernest, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm
good
fine.
to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah.
It's like this week we've met twice.
We've met twice. So
this is a new week. So we met last week and
this week as well. Our viewers like you, actually, honestly. Oh, they like you. Yeah, they shower a lot of complimentary.
There was a time I was following some of the comments.
Online,
and somebody sent a message. Look at the way his head is shiny.
Oh, how?
Oh, you didn't see?
Of all the things you are talking about, the person is more interested in how shiny, how your head is shiny.
He wasn't happy with what I was saying, so he just described Yeah. So I was telling somebody, a friend, in fact, a friend called my attention to it. I said, oh, but mine is better than Okujeto's own. The two of us, well, his is, oh no, but his shines more than mine.
Because he's your very good friend. You know, it's also because
that's just by the way.
That's just by the way. That's just by the way. You know, but it's we thank God for another rare privilege. We're back again. The show is live, and you know some of these criticisms that sometimes we receive on the show, I call them occupational hazards. You know, it's not everybody will agree with you. It's not everybody who would also disagree with you. That's the beauty of democracy. Everybody must have a say on what they make of what the issues are. But what I'm not comfortable with is when people take on personalities rather than issues.
Oh, but once you are in the public eye,
these things are expected.
Things will come. Some jabs will come.
Yeah.
It's normal.
Yeah.
Some of us even sitting in front of the camera, there are times you go off and you can say something, and then you yourself, you get home and you think that this one could have been said better.
So
I
agree.
It's part of the job.
And we're not by this saying that we have a problem with feedback, because you can only get better with feedback. Some of the feedback that we get, some of them are sometimes they can be very hurtful.
Oh,
sometimes some are very constructive. But also some are like, so instead of saying hurtful, some are destructive, you know. And it is because when you do a profile of a viewer, of a viewership, or you do a viewership profile of the people who watch us, there are people who are very emotive, there are people who are less emotive, some are just, you know, very objective, you know, and so on and so forth. So depending on who is talking to you, sometimes the messages that you get will give you an indication of whether the person is being extremely emotional or the person is just being, you know, critical and so
you
on.
see,
so,
GMJ is a platform.
Yeah.
If you listen to the people, you get feedback from. Some of them are very high level.
Very.
Yeah, I have friends. I know maybe somebody like Dr. Jansi may be watching and all that.
Dr. Jansi?
Yeah, he's from Legon.
Okay. He's a lecturer?
Yes.
Okay.
He's at the International Growth Center, IGC, at Legon.
Okay.
He's a researcher.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Yeah. He's always giving me a lot of feedback.
Oh.
Yes, and there are a lot of high-level people watching. So sometimes you don't take the low sides at all. As for me, I don't even look there. It's my wife who sometimes will follow. And then she will just sometimes send them back to me and all that. And it's quite funny.
Yeah.
We, those who are politically active, some of those things,
you can't really be bothered.
They mean nothing. They are just part of that game, especially unless the fellow attempts to defame you or say things that might destroy your reputation that you've built over the time and all that. Most of them, we just hear and we pretend we heard nothing. Yeah, so it's all part of the game. The advice to the viewers is that, and it will not happen on Good Morning Ghana because of the kind of people who watch.
Absolutely.
So you go to certain platforms and, you know, it's the fire for fire type of thing. But some of us, you understand it, so you just take it like that and move on. Criticisms are good. They are not always destructive like that. If the fellow is actually criticizing you, you just take it and move. Like this morning, I'll do a lot of that, though.
Well, you know, it's good. And you know, you've made a point which I think is very instructive, and I'm going to say this briefly because we don't have all day. You know, I tell people that the Good Morning Ghana platform it's a very unique and a very special platform. Randy Abe, who started the show, has built an enviable record with this platform for close to 23 years. At least myself, Annie, and the rest of the group can do is to maintain the standards. But that in itself sometimes poses a bit of a challenge because, look, even when it comes to the political parties and the type of personnel they want to deploy on our platforms, and we tell them that, look, this type of person will create problems for us and will bring down the standard of the program, sometimes the political parties have a problem because they think that Good Morning Ghana is just like all other platforms that they deploy some of their personnel to. You know, and so there's a back and forth.
Yeah. No, but sometimes the political parties, you see, we also have a strategy.
I know.
We have a way, we know who to send when. And
depending on what the issues.
Depending on what the issues are. And I remember very well those early days I started coming on Good Morning Ghana. There was a day, somewhere along the line, I got upset.
Okay.
I remember I was with my friend Sammy.
You mean you lost it?
Oh, I didn't go off.
Okay.
I have a good composure on, especially when I'm in front of the camera. Right. I hardly will go off.
Right.
So Sammy said something. I was
you mean Sammy Jenfi?
Yes.
Okay.
We were sitting right here. He was here, I was here. Then when he said the thing, I was going to go off there. You know what already told me?
Is that what? Not you.
Masa, be yourself. Be yourself. And sincerely,
maintain your composure.
Yeah, that thing was.
It's always guided
After
you.
that,
anytime
anybody says something, I said, no, me too, I have my style.
Yeah.
Deploy your style.
Yeah.
Everybody. So you may think somebody is too aggressive. He has a style. Then on those platforms you were referencing, you will see the other characters who will go and fire everybody from head to toe, insult everybody and all that. And you know you can't have that on certain platforms. So people like me, myself, there are platforms you call me, I'll always tell you a very nice, beautiful story. But
I can't. I won't come.
Normally when you say you won't come, you don't know when you need them. So we are on air. But we have strategies to just bounce off some of the places that you thought might not do well with you. If I appeared on one platform with one young man and his composure from that day till today, I've not been on the platform again. The host calls me and I try to tell. But there are certain platforms that can destroy your reputation more than at least you going there to promote your party and speak for your party, because that's why I'm here. If you do something that will not let me achieve my aim for today, there's no need coming there. So you just advise yourself and that's it.
All right. Okay. So we have a number of issues to look at on the show this morning. But we'll do our best. We'll do our best. And if you look at today's daily graphic, the daily graphic this morning's report says 2,637 ECG containers retrieved. And the story is by Timothy Goba. Timothy Goba is the man who is reporting on this matter, of course, on behalf of the daily graphic. But let me also quickly say, before we get on with the story, let me say that this morning, Graph Kwesi Petu has joined us. He's a member of parliament for Gomoa East and representing the NDC. Desmond, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you join us on the show.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah.
How are you?
Well, I'm doing very well. I intend to call you Dr. Desmond de Graph Kwesi Petu, but I'm afraid GTech will take me on.
Of course.
So your honorary doctorate is something that we can drop.
I heard you.
We wouldn't use it now, but we'll use it at appropriate platform.
Of course.
But do you agree with that?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Yeah. Because these days, a lot of people are buying doctorate.
Yes.
And people are using their honorary doctorate as though it is actually a proper PhD.
Of course.
And now GTech says that if you want, you would have to prove to us that your PhD is a PhD that you legitimately acquired. Show us which area of research you're engaged in. Yes.
What do you mean by legitimately acquired?
Well, I get where you're coming from.
I mean, you worked for.
It's 4 or 5 years, right?
Yes. Some you cross. I know people who depending on and sometimes. Sure, your supervisor can mess you up so bad that you'll be there for.
Well, like 10 years. Which one 10 years? No,
you are still struggling. You are sweating.
You are still pursuing PhD.
A friend of mine had to chase his supervisor to South Africa, and they said the guy he chased him there. Sometimes, but it's not always. It's a few times.
Right. But I understand. I mean, and the people who have academically acquired their PhDs status are people we must respect. Look, Professor Kwesi, if you call him on your show and you call him Kwesi, he has a problem. In fact, he'll drop the line. If you call him Kwesi, and I know he watches the show. Good morning, sir. He will drop the line. He will tell you don't know what it takes to acquire PhD.
That. Yes.
My brother,
it's an enviable thing to acquire.
He doesn't look at all. Some sort of respect.
Yes.
You can't just call him, you know, it has become a credentials part to his name. And anytime you want to mention his name, you have to give honor to that.
Right.
And then to qualify him well. But if you just say Kwesieni, I mean, you know, no.
It's belittling. It's belittling. Yes. But here's the thing. But I think it's only in our part of the world that we take these titles seriously.
Yeah, but because
in
we
the
live
advanced
in a
countries,
class society.
When I was in school in England, you say, Professor, also, no, just call me this.
He would prefer his first name.
Yeah, just the first name.
But
in
the
fact,
point
just the
is, here we have a class society where, as we are coming here, if we are not in suit, and I came here in some T-shirt, or will look at me twice before giving me a seat. So sometimes you are compelled to dress in a way. It's because we have a class society and we are trying to fit in. You realize that the people who have crossed the boundaries and they've made it and all that, how many of them? But you realize when Zelensky arrived at the White House, the way he was looked at. Because the people believe that you cannot come here with you have to come here like us.
I know.
So it depends on the society where you find yourself. And that's what we have. You look at me before you give me rice.
Or even sometimes water.
That's the adage.
As a country, we have a full dignified respect to certain things. And some of them are the one that you are mentioning. So if somebody go through this process, acquire to become a doctor, a professor, if you don't recognize it, it means that you are trying to demean his status or something of that. But like you said, advanced country, they don't take this thing for
Trump took offense when Zelensky appeared there in his usual signature sweatshirt or something. He took offense. They didn't think. So it's not like the advanced countries alone.
It depends
on how they view it.
I get it. Anyway, so that's one. Parliament is resuming today.
Yes, of course.
And how ready is the majority? I mean, the minority have been holding some, what they call a strategic retreat on strategizing on how to make sure that Ghanaians are served to the best of their ability. And if you look at today's daily graphic, the daily guide, it says that the minority meets to strategize as Parliament resumes today. And that story is on page 6, I believe. Yes, here we go. It says that I was going to do one other story, but I just noticed that you'll be going to Parliament from here. So let me just quickly kill this. Now, Ernest Kufi-Addo says, as Parliament reconvenes for its second meeting today, the Minority Caucus has held a strategic session to prepare for what it describes as a critical legislative period. The meeting held at the Accra City Hotel was meant to plan and perfect the approach and ensure that the right things are done in the country. Speaking to the media the weekend, the minority leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin revealed that the caucus, particularly those chairing committees of the parliament, met earlier in the day to map out plans aimed to enhancing the effectiveness in the House. He stressed that the meeting was focused on ensuring that the legislative process is steered in a direction that benefits the country and strengthens democratic governance. This morning, we met as a caucus to strategize for the second meeting of the Parliament. Afenyo-Markin said that at its meeting of committee leaders, it was to plan and look at how to be effective and ensure that the right things are done in our country. He emphasized that the minority's commitment to playing its watchdog role rigorously while remaining a constructive opposition force. Mr. Afenyo-Markin added that the caucus intends to hold a majority and the executive arm of government accountable while projecting its own readiness to govern. We want the growth of democracy, and we are sending a strong message to our opponents that we will hold their feet to the fire, he declared, and continues. At the same time, we are going to be a responsible opposition and assure Ghanaians that we're ready to take the reins of government in 2028 to make Ghana better. The minority strategy session comes ahead of what is expected to be a busy parliament calendar with debates, committee work, and oversight responsibilities resuming in full force following the Speaker of Parliament's announcement of the second meeting of the first session of the 9th Parliament of the Fourth Republic. In a notice issued on Monday, May 12, 2025, under Order 58 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, Speaker Alban Bagwe indicated that the House would reconvene at 10, that's in this morning, at Parliament House in Accra for members of Parliament to resume legislative business. This upcoming meeting is expected to address several critical national issues, including the consideration of key bills, nomination to Supreme Court, and debate on the matter of public interest. Although the full agenda for the session has not yet been released, but parliamentary observers anticipate that debates on the economy, electoral reforms, and recent governance controversies may feature prominently during the meeting. So the minority has been strategizing. They've been meeting to strategize. Has the majority been doing the same? And are we set? Are we good to go as Parliament?
Yes. Thank you, my brother.
Okay.
Today, majority will have a meeting after the adjournment.
Okay.
Because it used to be that the first sitting from recess, it doesn't take all that shape that we look for. It may be 1 or 2 addresses and then we adjourn.
Right.
And then after that, we will have our meeting to see what the leadership has for us. But let me quickly say about the minority, if they've had their meeting strategy and everything, and whatsoever they called it, is their duty to do so. And since it's their duty to do so, nobody has right to stop them not to do undone. The purpose of their meeting, when you read from the newspaper, expressly explain that they are going to hold the government accountable, they are going to check the government, they will make sure that the right thing is being done. But my brother, as you're in this country, the right thing is being done. If the right things are not done, we wouldn't see the improvement and then the growth of economy as at now that we are speaking. So it is their responsibility to do that.
Okay.
And then we welcome that idea because if they are not there to check the government, to put the government on its right path, leaving the government to do what the government wanted to do, then it means that the government can wake up tomorrow and say that I'm turning the whole Ghana down.
Okay.
But that is the reason why they are there. That is their focal work, that they should check the government and put them on toll.
Okay.
But we, as government, we are not afraid.
Right.
Because most of the times, their strategies that they come out with are propagandas. When they see the right thing, they turn it to be wrong. And when they see progress, they turn it to be retrogress. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And if that is the strategy they intend to bring, then I bet you, I must say that it will not help them.
Okay.
But I'm looking at it that they criticize, okay, on a rightful manner. Where they have to criticize, they criticize rightful manner. Where they have to make a suggestion, they do. Where they have to point to government that no, this thing is not going to help our nation, they do. Yeah. But they shouldn't go and sit down that they've had their strategic meeting preceding to our second sitting, that when they come, they will attack the government unnecessary. Things that they shouldn't even attack the government, they will just attack the government in order to think that it will make them popular for Ghanaians to know. Remember, Ghanaians voted for them for 8 years on power, okay? And they've enjoyed that 8 years in power. They just left. Less than 5 months, they just left government. So anything strategic that will make Ghanaians to see that they are now coming to, exist. Rather, they forgot that they were existing long ago. Will not let Ghanaians buy their idea. But I am of the view that if they want to criticize, they criticize constructively so that we will all build the nation that we want. Yesterday I was at Adome FM, and then I told the host, Omahin, that, look, let me tell you something. When I was coming, my wife told me something, that now the 20-liter gallon of cooking oil that was sold for 800 to 900 has now dropped to 500 Ghana cedis. And I told him that, isn't it a good news? It affects you, it affects me, it affects anybody. It doesn't exonerate NPP, neither NDC, but it goes around all of us. So these are the good things that we wanted to see. So if you see that the government is doing well, I'm expecting minority to come and say that, no, the government is doing well. For this track ABC that you put measures in place, that is working, you are doing well. They shouldn't criticize like they intended to return to power or something of that sort. I think you get the point I'm raising. But we want to see them that haven't done this, and then they have their strategic meeting. It is a meeting that is going to promote the duties of Parliament. It is a meeting that is going to enhance the parliamentary work to become more effectively. It is a meeting that will bring cohesion to the work of the Parliament, so that in any time, any day, if they are criticizing the government, then we, the majority, can also know that what our brothers are saying is the right path. If left is not good, let's turn to the right. So that at the end of the day, we want to build Ghana, a Ghana that we want, a Ghana that our children will come and inherit in future, that will see that, hey, sometime, somewhere, someday, sometime, people that live, that they govern this country, have left a legacy. And that is the ultimate focus of the President John Dramani Mahama. It's not anything. So I wish them well, that God has protected all of us throughout these races, and we are all returning without harm, without any injury. But I wish that when they get to Parliament, they criticize constructively, so that the work of Parliament will.
But I hope you had a good vacation.
Yes, of course.
A restful
you know, how do you rest? Conscience on your neck. Conscience on your neck. Some of us, we couldn't finish our thank you tour.
Wow.
So we use all this while to do thank you tour. Because as you are in Parliament, calls are coming. Hey, after voting for you, we've not seen you. You've not come to thank us. So you have to do that. And it goes with money. So if you don't have money to, do that, you need to, step back a little and then see what's happened. So, you know, God has been faithful, and then He's good.
Okay.
Yes.
Ernest, you are not a member of Parliament, but
you will soon become. Don't worry. I'm praying for you.
God bless you.
You are also.
I am planning to. I'm lazy my boot.
You're listening. Yes. Okay.
I'm lazy my
now
boot.
revealing this matter to me. You've not told me.
I'm lazy my boot. I haven't said
but
this term or next term.
I haven't said that. He didn't see it, but I foresee that you are lazy in your boot.
I see. So is it going to be obviously Greater Accra?
Possibly, yes.
Greater Accra.
I told you my mother is Gadangwe.
Okay.
You know that.
Yes, you mentioned that.
So I'm looking at that. Unfortunately, this is where we grew up. My father is Ashanti.
Yeah.
It would have been easier if I were an MPP candidate in the Ashanti region. But because we didn't stay there much, and until my father, since my father passed, I don't remember the last time I even passed through the place. So you think of, we are more here than there.
Okay.
But so it will be NDC candidate in Gandagwe.
No, I think I'm too far away from the NDC to get anywhere near them. I'd rather be an MPP candidate.
I think the point is making it will be easier to win a Greater Accra seat and an NDC.
Could be easier, my brother.
You realize that the Ga and the Dangwe areas are pretty
very
dominant.
Strong. Yeah, NDC.
But it's
you intend to bring the jinx.
We have, you see, I remember Kwame Battles won a seat here.
Yes.
Nana Kumia used to, and those seats are naturally MPP seats.
Yeah.
Few of them slipped, and I pray we are able to take them back.
South,
Adenta used to be swinged between MPP and DC. It's only this time that Ramadan has managed to work the miracle twice. And let's see what comes up.
All right.
Yeah.
So what are your expectations? Parliament is resuming today.
They're reconvening. Is a good thing, because there are a number of things that I believe the minority will want to point out to the government, and when they are sitting is better. I believe that really the NDC they are always saying that the minority are micro, and the minority is doing everything to prove to them that we are small, but we are what? Mighty. So the numbers here doesn't matter at all. The Bible is clear on this, that it's not about numbers. 300 people brought the wall of Jericho down. Right. So 88 will show Parliament that we are there to prove to the people of Ghana that we are superior in terms of knowledge, in terms of understanding of how governance work. Unfortunately, that's how they see it. They are saying you lost power, so go and sleep. And we are telling them that the people of Ghana need a very viable opposition to let the majority stand on their feet and stand properly. You see, they are making so many mistakes. They started too early. By the end of the 3rd month, 90% of the things they promised they would do for the people of Ghana, they have relented on them. I'm saying 90%. I'm even being magnanimous. Let me tell you. They told the people of Ghana, you and I, we have an experience on this Galamsey issue. Galamsey has worsened under them. But they made the people of Ghana think that our waters and everything have gone so bad that, in fact, His Excellency the President in opposition just said the gala will be gone. Is that not it? Yeah, he used the word gala for me to hear. He mentioned the water will be clean. And they are doing exactly the same things that were done by the previous administration. We had the water guards. We called them river guards. They came and they called them blue water guards. Same thing, same recruitment. You sent military man with a gun, and the party chairman held his neck and wanted to give him a showdown. And then you are sending some slim macho boys, SS boys. So this one is just some job for the boys. Give them some 2,000 at the end of the month to go and eat, and you would have solved some problem. You understand? The day I heard the minister, that minister's press conference where he declared a day of mourning for Ghana and he led by crying himself, and he mentioned that Akonta Mining had done this and that, then I became suspicious. I was worried, especially about Galamsey. I was worried because if you are telling me that Akonta Mining did not have a license, I believe this topic will come up. I was worried, I was confused. Then the minister himself, who should have given certain orders, maybe push the military to go and do something, was sitting down weeping. What will Moro and I do? And my brother, what can you do? But the minister could have called his colleague, the defense minister, the interior minister, let's have an immediate meeting, let's take action. No show. Right? The next thing, they promised the people, they said they are going to reset the things that happened that were bad. That's why I'm saying about 90% of the things they said in opposition are still outstanding. On the same Galamsey, he promised that he was going to arrest the kingpins. I haven't seen any kingpin under arrest. The promises he couldn't meet. As for Galamsey, total failure, 0 over 100. You come to this, his issue of resetting. And you said Ayawaso West Wuogon was a disaster. People went in masks and those things. So you were coming to reset it. Do it better. Reset, in my opinion, means that you are going to erase all the bad things. If I want to reset my phones, I'm taking it back to factory settings, right? And now, every morning somebody appears in somebody's house who were in Nika shorts and chaliwati and things with their AK-47. We thought that was the end. Adenta Kumi's house. Wuntumi's house. I was shocked yesterday when Wuntumi was coming out on bail. And he said he was asked 2 questions. Do you do Galamsey? He said, no, I have a license. Akonta Mining is properly registered and have a license. Are you mining in the forest? So that is why we send policemen with AK-47s, pickup full, and all that to his house, just to ask him whether he does Galamsey. So you see, the things that you spoke about, I remember, and they are making some of us revise our notes because the day when Ayawaso West Wuogon happened, I was on TV. And I condemned it so bad because I felt that it was wrong. I was on Go TV. Anybody can go and check. Condemned it. We couldn't have done that, even though we knew that the NDC had wanted to do something. Most of us said use the police. So we thought you have come to reset that. Now every morning we see people in the same style in people's homes. I don't get it. So the minority in parliament have so many things. I want them to ask the Honorable Jinapor about containers too. We will come there too.
That's our next topic, actually.
is
our next topic. Yes.
Yeah. So when we get there, I will tell you why I believe the minority in their strategy should be asking certain questions. I'll tell you. We'll get there.
All right. So let's start. In fact, he's taking the wind out of my sails, but that's our next topic.
This one is an intro. Executive summary.
I get it. Executive summary. So 2,637 ECG containers retrieved. Timothy Goba is reporting that the Ministry of Energy has retrieved 2,637 containers belonging to the Electricity Company of Ghana, twice the number of containers presumed to have gone missing with their contents. In an exclusive interview with the Daily Graphic in Accra yesterday, the spokesperson for the ministry, Richmond Roxon, said the committee investigating the 1,300 containers said to be unaccounted for, rather discovered 2,637 containers at the port of Tema consigned to the ECG, a number far above the initial missing items. He said, as of April 30, 2025, ECG had 2,583 outstanding containers at various locations. Mr. Roxon said 860 of the containers were found at Meridian Port Services, 1,237 at GPHA terminals, while 272 were evacuated by national security personnel. He added that 194 were located at the Amaris terminal, while 20 were retrieved at Atlas Manufacturing Terminal. Now, the Daily Graphic then goes ahead to give us a bit of a background. It says in March this year, during an official interaction with the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, John Abdullahi Jinapor, and the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, the power distributor, claimed to have 2,491 uncleared containers. So this is the catch. Initially, ECG said they had 2,491. Now, let's compare this number to what has now been, retrieved. Okay. So clearly what has been received is it's way more than what was declared by ECG. Now, 2,491 uncleared containers filled with cables and other essential equipment at the Tema port. The minister subsequently set up a committee chaired by Professor Innocent Senyo Akwa to investigate the claims. The committee found out that while ECG claimed to have 2,491 uncleared containers filled with cables and other essential equipment, an independent audit at the port found only 1,134 containers, leaving 1,357 missing. Okay. So Mr. Jinapor expressed concern about the situation and assured the public that it will be investigated. Now, the over 1,300 containers cannot vanish into thin air. Will ensure those responsible are held accountable. Thereafter, the minister set up a committee made up of the National Security, the Ministry of Transport, GPHA, and Customs to investigate the ECG's containers that could not be accounted for. Now, Mr. Roxon said further analysis showed that 2,437 containers surpassed the 60-day clearance window and were classified as uncleared cargo lists, which is UCL in short, with 41 verified lists cleared from the port, leaving 2,583 containers. He said delays in clearing those containers resulted in excessive port charges. Mr. Roxon said ECG and port authorities would engage on the roadmap for outstanding payments. The spokesperson for the ministry said the Chief of Staff, Julius Zebra, had directed that all retrieved containers should be evacuated immediately to ECG safe warehouse. According to the directive, inventory must be taken to ensure all materials are accounted for. He said the Energy Minister recognized that the challenges resulted from the procurement method used by ECG where items were consigned to the company without clearing them. Consequently, he said Mr. Jinapor had directed the ECG should depart from the method of procurement. Suppliers must clear and deliver to ECG any item procured. The minister had further directed ECG to suspend all non-essential equipment procurement pending the review of its procurement policies. Now, Mr. Roxon disclosed that the former managing director of ECG, Dubik Mahama, had been invited by the security agencies and the caution statement taken. Some ECG staff have been asked to step aside due to the investigations. Mr. Roxon said the Office of Attorney General would advise on the way forward. Now, a couple of things are missing in the story. One, who were the guys responsible for this? Or if there was nobody who was really responsible for hiding or for hiding the containers, more or less, does it mean that perhaps the energy minister was misled with the numbers that he was given in the beginning? Remember that he took a report from ECG and said it in Parliament and gave a certain number. He followed up and went to the port himself and got a different number. And they said, look, the two numbers do not, there's some discrepancies. And so let me commission an investigative body to look into the numbers and to sort of audit it. Now, the investigative body or the committee is done with its work. And now we're finding out that apparently the 2,491 containers that were supposed to have been handed over to John Jinapor as the sector minister, there's actually even more. Okay, so I want to know what accounts for instance, the difference in the numbers. That's number one. Number two, who were the guys who gave out the wrong information to the sector minister? And what have we done with those people? Because quite clearly, I don't see from the story a case of plain thievery per se, as we initially were suspecting. You know, initially we thought some people have stolen the containers and they've hidden them somewhere. And you see the videos that we played earlier about people who were, you know, telling us that some people had supplied the containers to them and were using the materials in the containers and so on. So this finding doesn't align or tally with the earlier report that came out. I don't know. I don't know whether you'll be able to help us with this little confusion in our minds.
Yeah, it's a bit cumbersome.
Yes.
It's a bit confusing
Yes.
because report taken area on suggests 2,400.
Yes.
And then the plus.
Yes.
And after the Commission of
The audit,
Independent
yes.
Investigative Audit revealed 2,607.
607. Yes, so 637.
37.
Yes.
637. It means it has a difference of about 200 and something
Yeah.
containers that were unclear. But, you know, my brother, the question is, let's see ECG. I don't think in a day that they imported, just a day, that they imported 2,637 containers into this country.
Fact is, no. These were imported in batches.
In batches.
In batches, yes.
And then we have a administrative body.
Yeah.
The managing director descend down with his management. We have what do you call it? The board of directors who support the day-to-day administrative work over there. And now, if you look at their procurement system, as and when they intend to procure, it must show in their system or the books of records that they have that today we have procured this cap. Is at a port unclear. Tomorrow we have procured this bottle. Has also come to add up at the port unclear. Then the question is, why must it sit down to increase up to 2,337 containers unclear?
Yeah.
It's a question we need to ask ourselves. The people that we put them in charge, were they really worked? So trust me, if there has not been a change of government, would this thing come to the light for us to know or to not come? We wouldn't know about this. And for such a long time, it will never tell. It is the change of administration that the handover of the document, the minister decided maybe he saw something fishy and then wanted to conduct investigation into it. That has revealed into all this. And even if independent commission were not, constituted to look into this matter, the excess of about 200 and something would have not been retrieved. Do you get the point I'm trying to make?
I do.
Now, we have trusted people. We have put them as a management. We have handed the entire institution into their care. That they should take a good decision and to make sure that ECG progress. My brother, why all these containers are spiral is a question we need to ask.
Right.
And then brought these people in book to ask them that the duties that we assign to you to take charge as a manager, you sit down as a host to moderate this program that we are doing. If one or two reasons there's a quarrel between me and my brother that will result into assault, what do?
Right.
Okay? You steer in and control so that nothing of that sort do happen. We put a managing director there from 2000 and I don't know actually since when these containers 2,637 started coming into Ghana. Okay, maybe it's from 2008, 2006, 2007. I don't know. I can't actually tell. Unless maybe we find out since when the procurement were done and this container started coming. And even if that is so, there were people that will put them in charge. And we are expecting that they will manage this. Okay? Now, having imported over 2,637 containers into this country, and you've been unable to clear them, accumulating demurrages and then port charges that has gone high. Sometimes it's even higher than the, what do you call it, the duty that you're supposed to pay on the containers that were imported.
Okay.
Do you understand? What are we doing to ourselves as a Ghanaian? Do you understand?
Right.
So, in a nutshell, the minister, whether he's being misled with the quantities of the containers that were imported, or somebody there didn't tell him the truth or them. I trust and believe that there is a syndicate at ECG that we need to trace and then fish it out. If you couldn't do that, okay, maybe if you go to their procurement section, there is somebody in charge of the procurement that as and when we intended to procure container or other goods outside, records were taken. It goes through the management, and then before finally we approve for procurement.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know whether you may have heard this, but one of the issues that came up when this revelation came out was that the procurement unit of ECG had actually been merged by the estate unit of the same ECG.
Yes.
And it was one of the issues that John Jinapor raised and said it's for him is beggars belief. Because
it's supposed not to be so.
Yes, because the estate unit has its own
work of doing.
Exactly. So and by merging it, what were you trying to achieve?
Yes.
And so it sort of weakened the procurement department of ECG.
Yes.
So just to add to the point that you made earlier, because you're raising issues with procurement.
You are right.
The challenges that they have with the procurement.
You are right. You are hosting a morning show.
Yeah.
Okay. And suddenly they say we are adding evening show to what you are doing.
Yeah.
So when the jingle come, you are, your jingle read the morning show, whatever you do, Good Morning Ghana. And then in the next few minutes, another one will read Good Morning Evening, Good Evening Ghana.
Yes.
So the listeners, which one are they trying to listen? It causes disparity in the show. It's exactly what we are talking about. Merging procurement with estate. That they have a different collective work to do. Okay? If you made them, then the question is, we could ask, who did that? Under whose supervision that sat down for this thing to happen? Okay? These are all things that we are talking, we are referring to the previous administration, where things were not properly handled. And that has brought all this thing. I don't see the reason why somebody will sit down accusing this present government, a government which is less than 5 months, that you can say the government is not up to its toe or not checking things well. This government come, and as a matter of urgency, to see to the activities of ECG. Last time I checked, we had a meeting with them at the Pediasi Lodge, Pediasi Valley Resort.
Yes.
When they came, what they told us, they own, I think, about 63 billion Ghana cedis. Okay? And then in our conversation with them, I serve as a committee on energy. In our conversation with them, they mentioned one, I forgot, that they need to pay them $100 million. No, $100 million, I forgot the figure. They have to pay them. If they couldn't pay them, they will shut them down.
Which institution is that?
I forgot the institution. I will remember now. Okay. I'll tell you. Okay. Now, ECG managing director was telling us. And ECG owned over 63 billion Ghana cedis. They have a lot of money with other institutions that they were not correcting. When I was checking, I got to know that Ghana Water Company owned them 15 million cedis that they've not corrected it. Do you understand?
Right.
So we put people in administration to manage the affairs of the institution that we have entrusted under their establishment. And then they go there and mess up things. They go there and do things any way they want. Can your company here, Metro TV, allow estate and procurement to merge? Whilst they have a different duties to perform. And so wherever sit down as at then, allowing ECG, procurement department, and then the, what do you call it, estate department to merge, must be brought to book. And I asked him a question, why he did that. Is the way they do that to, mismanage the affairs of the institution. And that has brought all this thing. Now, as we speak, we were told that the containers have got missing. Now, we've been able to retrieve 2,637 containers uncleared.
Yeah.
Okay. Since when that containers has been at the port uncleared? The management there, the board of directors there, we should ask them a question. If we've been able to raise money, and I trust that all these procurements, the full payment has been done.
Right.
So the supplier to us, we don't own him. But if we have been able to pay the full payment of 2,637 containers of cable metals that has been landed at our port and still sitting down unclear. My brothers and Ghanaians, are we serious? Are we serious? And we are taking this matter as a joke. The management and the managing directors and the board of directors who have steered affairs of ECG from some time to time must all be called back and ask a question about this. And we should ask them, if it is your own company, would you have done that?
Yeah.
If you can't do that to your own company, why is it that the nation have entrusted you and given you a position to handle, that you can look at the interests of the nation? You mismanage things, and that debt has accrued for ECG to pay.
Yeah.
Okay? As you sit down here, my brother sit down here. Having spoke, then I don't know that he was coming from MPP.
Right.
I wanted him to come to NDC, but now he has shifted to MPP. Because if you look at his defense that he was defending minority, he's going to point out the minorities.
Maybe you make me your presidential candidate.
That's why I'm opting you to come, because I'm always looking for good people to come to NDC so that we can brainstorm and then move Ghana forward.
MPP is sweet.
All right. You see, to come to conclusion, what I want to say is that these people who we have entrusted, okay, this entity into their hands, that they sat down to mess up all this stuff, must be brought into proof. For some time, you know, the demurrages and then the port charges were piling. I had something was about 15-something million that ECG were not paying.
Right.
But demurrages and the port charge kept increasing day by day. If you don't clear them today, tomorrow it will increase. If you don't clear them the next day, 3 days, it will be increased. Now, because they were unable to pay for these charges, all these containers are there. Okay? And the money used to procure this are for the state. So how do we sit down and then allow the nation to move on reckless way in the hands of some people that we have entrusted, giving them appointment to handle the position? So I'm of the view that we can go back and look for all this administration, those who steer affairs of it. Now, first we were told the containers are missing. Thank God we have retrieved them. If we have retrieved them, it comes with a different question. Now come and answer the reason why, under your care, these containers were procured into the country and remain unclear up to now. Come and answer.
Ernest,
Oh,
what's your take on this?
I wanted to just start from one of the statements he made.
My statement is so sweet.
No.
I say come and join
ECG.
Today, Honorable is doing a lot of campaigning and recruiting.
ECG did not collect their money, or the money wasn't paid. You know, they went as far as even there was a threat to even, I think, disconnect some hospitals.
Yes.
Hospitals. So it means they took very drastic action. They went to Parliament, shook their small.
Okay.
So they did what they could. If Ghana Water is not paying, it could be Ghana Water that is not paying, and it's not them who are not collecting. That one, I'm not just defending them, but this is what we know. These are the facts.
It's a suggestion, and I abide by that.
Yes,
so
but you will realize that, you see, measures are being taken, which I agree completely. What I heard is that all the state agencies, this is the third time I am hearing this. I heard this under His Excellency President Kufuor. I heard this one sometime, I don't know whether it was the Mills or the first Mahama and all that, and then Akufo-Addo. Then they are saying it again, that they are going to give prepaid meters to all state agencies except essential services.
Yeah.
And if they don't do that, because if ECG collapses completely under debt, the biggest people, the people who owe the biggest, is government.
Yeah.
The companies, if Metro should be owing now, you will see the action they will come and do here. Disconnect you. They don't care whether you are on air or not.
Yeah.
But the agency or the institution that doesn't pay is there to ECG are mainly government. So now that he is in government, and I hear the minister and the chief of staff are taking certain steps to rectify certain challenges that we have had, and they should do it as fast as possible.
Right.
But this container matter, I beg to differ from my brother.
Okay.
Whenever the missing containers issue come up, the NDC raises questions of procurement.
Yeah.
Forget about procurement. Whether this thing is for me and I am eating it or not, does not mean somebody should steal it. It's not for you. It's still not for you. Even if I am not eating it, it belongs to ECG.
Yeah.
So nobody has the right to steal it. But in this case, Moro, in this instance, our brother Jinapo has hoodwinked the president twice.
Tell me why.
Before his appointment, he told us that we have some 5 hours or some. He gave us some gloomy picture. Everybody started running helter-skelter, including His Excellency the President. He immediately commissioned the Chief of Staff to have a meeting. We realized that. I didn't believe it. I think we were on a show here or in one of your and I didn't believe him. But he managed to twist the arm of the President to issue his appointment letter immediately. I think that was the aim. And then the Chief of Staff was giving so much headache when there was nothing like that. Then number 2. ECG, the number of containers, don't forget, I have all the letters here. The number of containers originally that he came to tell us that he found in the handing over notes was 3,000.
Yes. At the transition period.
Then he went and came back and said that he went to the port. And you remember we had an issue over this. I was telling you that the minister cannot tell me. Your defense was that he went to the port and somebody briefed him. But the actual thing that happened was that he said he was handing over notes of 3,000. He didn't believe it. So he went for fact-finding.
Yes.
He went on a fact-finding mission. How do you tell me I am minister and I went to the port to go and see for myself because I didn't believe the 3,000 number they gave me, and then I went to the port and somebody went to give me some briefing and I got back? You move the whole ministry, senior members of the ministry, move everybody, V8, state, my tax, bought fuel into them, only for you to go and sit down for somebody to brief. If you wanted briefing, why didn't you do it on phone or invite them to your office or 1 or 2 people and they brief you? So the minister had not been straightforward on this container matter.
Are you suggesting that his decision to go to the grounds and see things for himself?
No, that was the right thing to do. Okay. I gave you an example the last time, that when Napo came, Napo received handing over notes from Her Excellency, now the Vice President, then Minister for Education, that said they had completed 50 e-blocks.
Yeah.
After verification, we realized that only 29 were verified. By then, Napo had taken the handing over notes to Parliament and had gone to speak that they have completed 50. He got to the ground. So when he said he was going to verify, for somebody like me, he was doing the right thing. And if I am the minister, I will do the same. So the point I am trying to make is that if I went on if you went on a fact-finding mission Then you came to meet me because I was nicely dressed, so you would let me just tell you anything and you walk away. I don't believe that is what he should have done. But that was the explanation that they were bringing. And look, he didn't come to just come and sit maybe somewhere or granted some interview and say, he went on the floor of Parliament.
It was on the floor.
The House of Records, where the record you are taking there is supposed to be sacrosanct. And he went and made that statement. Then a short while later, you came back and said, no. The facts you have gone to check is 1,300. Please, reference the tape, the interview Dubik had on this matter. I don't know, I've forgotten where he had the interview.
Okay.
Dubik said he doesn't believe these containers have left the port. And they will be somewhere in the port. So whoever said he went to do the investigation didn't do it well. Okay. You know, Gapoha is managing the port.
Yes.
MPS is managing the port.
That's it. You know, I asked, before you talk about the people who are managing the port, you know, I asked earlier about who were the people who were interviewed or interrogated or were questioned over the missing containers, because I just thought that if we had some more information as to what the committee had actually found, it will enrich the discourse. So, you know, Annie is a very powerful woman. She's intercepted this document.
She's been able to pull
and
the
so these are the persons that have been interviewed. And it says the following is a list of all the people interviewed at the various stages during the execution of these investigations. And so you have Kwame Pepeda, who's the acting managing director, Mr. David Asamoah, who's the deputy managing director. There's Mr. Samuel Tego, director procurement premises and estates. And then there's Yao Frimpong, who's the director materials and transport. There's Jacqueline Oforiata, director of engineering. Mr. Ben Dankwa, who's the director legal. Mr. Moses Oakley, who's the former acting director finance. And then there's Mr. Berlin. No, sorry, that's Mr. Okay, I've talked about Oakley. There's also Dr. Belinda Yabua Dramena, who's the director at customer service. There's Charles Obing, project planning, monitoring and evaluation. There's Eric Ansa Entry, director audit services. Engineer Abing Owusu Efriye, who is a director energy consulting and renewable energy. And there's also Eunice Nana Kwampa, who is a general manager inventory management. There's Mr. Stephen Aite Mensah. Is Aite? Hello, Aite. You know here. Aite.
Whichever way you call it.
Aite. Hello, Aite Mensah. He's the general manager goods procurement. Yes, it is his department which has been measured the housing and estate units. And there's also Mr. William Fianco Asari, manager planning and inventory control. Mr. Emmanuel Anom Osafo, who's the acting manager shipping. There's Mr. Joseph Okan, manager workshop. Mr. Ransford Odro, manager transport. Those are 18. And is that all? Okay, there's 19. Mr. Edwin Ahiable, who's the manager traffic. Mr. Ebenezer Ado, manager foreign goods procurement. Mr. Raymond Afari Sam, manager local goods procurement. Mr. George Kwe, manager materials and transports. Now, with the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, these were the people who were also interviewed. Now, Ms. Sandra Poku, director, ports. Mr. Seth Kofi Ansan Hagan, manager, operations. Now, with the Mint Logistics Limited, that's a private company. It said Ms. Rita Intri, who's the chief executive officer. I'm sure it's a freight forwarding company. I believe so. I think so. And there's also Ms. Rita Intri, who's so there's also Mr. Humphrey Homadzi, who's in charge of operations. There's Alhaji Audi Isaka, who is the liaison officer. There's Nana Kweku Abuaje, consultant, Mint Logistics Limited. Now for the Dowart Bond Limited, you have Bernard N. Obuache, who's the chief executive officer, and also Edward Osei, in charge of operations. Annie, are we done? Okay, good. So this is what we have so far. So ask them when we get some more information.
Yeah, so
but it tells you how extensive.
You could see that they have even interviewed the bond and the logistics I'm suspecting could be people who are clearing agents.
Oh, clearing agents, okay.
That's
or we can kind of freight forwarding companies.
Yes, they might be
that's
freight forwarding. But
okay.
I was on this matter that the GPHA runs part of the port.
Yes.
Then the MPS runs part of the port.
True.
Right?
True.
And other places. where did the minister go before he brought us that alarm?
Okay.
Who did he speak to? Because all these other, and then there are even private operators within the harbour.
Yeah.
Where did he go? So is he telling us that he wasted the whole day, went to walk around and did no work?
I'm not.
So the point here is, and after, you see, I became interested when Dubik granted that interview.
Okay.
Dubik said he doesn't believe that the containers have left the port. But they gave us the impression that they found some of these containers outside. In fact, there were rumors, and anytime you meet the NDC guys, they shall go and arrest Afenyomaki. He was board chairman. And you remember, I asked this question on your show, that if I bring my car to the harbour, I couldn't clear my car. So you confiscated the car. Now I have brought the money. And the car is not there. You say I should go and ask my father. It doesn't make sense. So all the things that the minister was sending to us were not adding up. Especially when the people said, we left 3,000 containers. You don't believe there are 3,000 containers. You sent fact-finding mission. And then when they come back, you come and tell us that the private contractors who are involved, you didn't ask them anything. In fact, the importers of these materials, you didn't ask them anything. Gapoha, whatever, then you raise an alarm. Now the containers they have found, total number of containers found now is 2,000.
2637.
Yes, I think so.
2637.
I picked the numbers. So let me. The total number discovered now is, in fact, what they are holding is 2583.
Okay.
2583. So if the containers went to different parts and they were moved, maybe because, you know, when you bring your goods and you are not able to clear and demurrage starts, they move it to a different place to create space for more goods to come. Why didn't he do all this work before he comes to raise the alarm?
Okay.
Mainly because he is prejudiced. Somebody told you there are 3,000 containers. You didn't find out. You went to find out, you brought a different. He's prejudiced. The mindset is what is bringing us
Are you
here.
suggesting
if you
that
remember,
Jinapor spoke too soon?
Not
But that's
he
why.
spoke too
But that's
soon.
why
he
he
came
said.
with a mindset. That, oh,
What's that mindset?
The mindset is that, oh, there are some people that they have mismanaged the country and they have stolen from the country and we must bring all out to get them arrested. I am telling you what you people, your mindset is.
What does the mean of that?
So because of that, I am seeing this bottle. I'm saying because I believe that Moro will steal this bottle. I'm asking Moro, where is the bottle? The bottle is on the table. Dubik said, the things are in the harbour. I am telling you, you can play that interview. He said they are in the harbour. He believes. But I asked you once, I don't believe a whole container, not one, not two, not 100, thousands of containers will drive out of the harbour and nobody will know. You remember the cartoons of containers flying and all that I saw in newspapers and all that.
But here's the thing. If the transition report that was handed over to the sector minister says we have 3,000 uncleared containers at the port, and now based on
according
this,
to Jinapor. We haven't seen the report. He himself
you mean the
said,
transition report?
Yes, I haven't seen it.
I doubt he would lie about the transition report.
No, what I'm saying is I want us to put it in perspective.
Okay, he said. Okay.
That's according to him because of the conversation we are having.
Right, that's fine. That's fine. So if John Jinapor tells us that 3,000 containers was what was contained in the report, okay, that he received from the transition team, and now, of course, like you said, he followed up, went to the port. Yes, it's a legitimate question we're asking. Where exactly did he go and who did he speak to?
Of course.
Right? And why did he decide to play back what the person had informed him, which was that it was only 2,000, it's all above 2,400, I think 2,437 or so. Right? Why did he decide to go public with that number? It's also a legitimate question. But here's the thing. Out of 3,000 containers that were said to have been contained in the transition report, we now have 2,637. It means there's still some more containers
to be looked for.
To be looked for, you know. Anyway, so that's for me is a rhetorical question.
It's not rhetoric. He should go and find it.
I'll just take 30 seconds of your time. I beg you. You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro TV.
Next. Hey, Nadia Benson,
me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friendly once now.
Hey, that's you.
Improve car.
Yeah.
Captain Mosquito, double the accent. Me did it, Sasso spray. Mr. Friendly Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso.
Come tum preko.
Mommy.
Michelle say, fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Choco toothpaste, healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Choco toothpaste, Sankofa.
Yenchi, Kel Choco toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
I'm a branch manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Where to get Polytank?
Oh, and you're right.
Go straight.
Oh, I want left, right.
That's right. Ghana na ye wono. So when you do more, and ye data. Oh no! I beg, na here. Me pe Polytank ato. And you think I'm in here by you to be able to buy you. Oh, food to be here. Enjoy your crowd.
Akuya bulambu kotoman. Emuha.
Like they take you by so. Go to the distributor and you give the original Polytank. You get a sound?
Polytank. Papananka Sankasa.
Cratchy, unemu bua unkoisha Dr. Ma uye denwa.
Oh, Mr. Yamfan come and me buru.
Mami bro. Ni atele be ko bra. Mumi mfani ko Dr. Ma ho. Dr. Ma no ya de. Bra, se bani no mpemu adwuma, sasabro sro. Dr. Baboye.
Oh, no, Pemunim, the on one expect Yazan for no. Or cry any Kumasi, no Pemu expect Yan can't show.
MGL Logistics and Supply is your trusted partner, providing seamless solutions for all your procurement needs. From sourcing products to managing imports and exports, we ensure smooth and efficient transactions every step of the way. Whether you require goods from across the globe or need assistance in exporting your products to international markets, we got you covered. General trading is at the heart of our expertise. We specialize in a wide range of products, catering to various industries and markets. As a trusted dealership in building materials, we provide high-quality products that meet the demands of our construction projects. Additionally, we act as manufacturers' representatives, connecting producers with distributors. Our expertise in logistics is the backbone of our operations. We plan and execute transportation and delivery of goods, ensuring they reach their destination on time and in optimal condition. MGO Logistics and Supply, guaranteed satisfaction.
Join the president of EBID and other leading development experts live on June 3rd, 2025 from 11 a.m. GMT on Metro TV Ghana, DSTV Channel 277 and EBID's digital platforms for the President's Roundtable on Unlocking Food Security in West Africa through Agricultural Transformation. Having financed over $113 million in agriculture and agribusiness projects and programs to build resilient food systems across the ECOWAS sub-region, EBID has prioritized tackling food insecurity in the sub-region in its Strategy 2025 with the aim of assisting member states to attain SDG 2 and SDG 3. Dr. George Ejekum Donko, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of EBID, will be joined by leading development experts to discuss and share their collective experiences and perspectives on addressing food security challenges in West Africa, as well as finding innovative ways to ensure food resilience in the region. ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development. EBID, transforming ECOWAS communities.
Choose to label whatever you want to label. You can choose to follow the committee's report. You can choose to read from what you are reading. You can choose to play the video from Honorable Afenyomakin. But let me tell you something. Containers getting missing at the port, it will be very mischievous for you to link it to the people at the top.
Why? Really?
I said, yes, because it's not part of the person's day-to-day. But even if so, you want to link it to the person at the top. It is only when, unless I sit here, and have you been fully notified that when I heard about the containers being auctioned, I didn't do anything about it? I sat aloof and left it. Well, how would that have been?
Well, you wrote a letter that was not responded to.
Is that my fault?
That's not action enough.
So what do I do?
It's not effort that we're measuring. So
what should I do?
We're measuring results.
If you were me, you said it's a discussion. If you were me, what would you do?
No.
Have you also cited a document where ECG reported the matter to the police? Have you cited that?
You reported the auctioning of the containers to the police. You are just saying it.
I'm asking you, have you cited the letter? There's a letter in circulation similar to that. There's one that I have told you, my brother. You are trying to drag me into responding to this report. All attempts, and if you ask me another question that doesn't pertain to how the containers come out, I would say you've run out of your questions. Let's call it a good night.
In fact, the more reason why I'm dwelling on the procurement is because that's the heart of the conversation that we're having.
Go and read the Attorney General's opinion on procurement. If you've read the Attorney General and on your Saturday show, Edwiji Tamaklo exhausted that conversation.
Well, we had that conversation, and the proposal was that if there's supposed to be now a review of that position, then so be it.
Then they should go ahead And does the law apply retrospectively? Does the law apply?
Yeah, so this is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television, and that's Dubik Mahama, who is immediate past ECG MD, who was obviously not happy that the committee that looked into the reports, not the one that was done, not the recent one, but there was one that was an initial one which was done, which was led by Professor Senyo. He wasn't invited for his comment or his input into the investigations, and he wasn't happy about it. And so you saw him in that interaction with our very good friend, Alfred Okanse of TV3. So we have just 10 minutes to wrap up on this. We couldn't get into some other issues that were also important. Yes, I know. That's how fast time flies here on Good Morning Ghana. So we'll use the next 10 minutes. Let's do some wrapping up. Tomorrow, hopefully, God willing, inshallah, when we come back, we'll look at the other issues that are also making the rounds. Right. Yes. You heard what Ernest Adade had said so far. He thinks that John Jinapor went into some kind of fear-mongering mode, and he didn't take his time.
Well, that statement he made, that is to him. But I commend the minister for good work done. Reason, number one. The handover note from the transition that were given to him indicated 3,000 containers at the port.
Yeah.
Now, having studied, he decided to embark a physical investigation to ascertain whether it's true or it's not true. You see, I have worked at the port before.
Okay.
And then
in what capacity? As a freight forwarder?
I was a top freight forwarder. My company is there. So.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't know that.
So when you go to port and then you need information.
Okay.
Like I said, these containers were not come under one vessel. It came on different vessels as and when the shipment were done. And then it has accumulated to this number out there. So sometimes the person that you are talking to might not have the manifest of maybe vessel Ama that came 3 months ago. That came about 4 months ago. And in front of him might be the manifest which contained the vessel that came today, yesterday, and even a month. And through that, they can give you that information.
Yeah.
But you need to press on. And before you do that, you must go there with some specific information that you may require to know. Perhaps, maybe, as at then, the minister haven't gotten that information. So when he got there, he was given a preliminary, what do you call it?
Report?
Reports. Okay. So having studied that and he was not convinced, then he decided that, okay, on the transition handover that were given to me, were said is 3,000.
Okay.
Now, when I went to port to conduct a physical investigation, I received about 1,300 and something. And I remember his report to Parliament that was mentioned. I'm not quite sure, but I believe 1,300 and something was mentioned in his report.
Yeah.
So after putting all this thing together, and since he wasn't believing himself, then he conducted an independent investigation to look into the matter, to ascertain the actual containers that is still hanging at the port. Do you understand? As to compare to, what do you call it, the handing over notes he received from the transition. I believe that might be.
Okay.
But the minister was not in haste to come out to say something. Of course, there was all over that the ECG containers have got missing from the port. Everybody is expecting minister to talk and to say something. So, as and when the immediate report that has gotten to him is what you have to brief the people to know so far what is going on and assure the public of further investigation. And this further investigation has reveal that the containers out there, it's now 2,637. If you were hand over a 3,000, if you were hand over, and then the total number of containers in your handover is 3,000 unclear containers at the port, and you've been able to retrieve 2,337. Presumably, it might be correct that there's a 3,000 containers at the port.
You mean he's been able to retrieve 2,637? Yes.
Okay, so presumably it might be that there's 3,000 containers at the port. Maybe, like I'm telling you, some of the manifest is not even where to retrieve, to know when the vessel arrived in Ghana and how many containers that brought belongs to ECG. We will still persist on it to look at it that we will get the full 3,600.
Okay.
But my point, Dubik was here, he was talking. Okay, I didn't listen to him well. I've not gotten the full report, so I don't want to talk about it.
Online. The whole,
it's online. I will study it. Next time when we come, we'll talk about it.
Oh, okay.
He was a managing director of ECG, immediate past managing director of ECG. Whether he held a position for a month or 2 or 3, he inherited this problem. What did he do to it? Do you understand?
Right.
That is where my point is. The minister came just 5 months ago. And before the 5 months minister came, there were the people who were handling this administration. That has caused all this thing.
Okay.
That is what we have to look for. It's not about what the minister didn't tell the truth or minister was in haste to give the report or something like that. You see, there is a panic in Ennerton. The minister was panicked that 3,000 containers were left at the port unclear.
Okay.
Quantum the amount of 3,000 containers and see how much money has been used to procure this container and is still left at the port unclear, accumulating port charges and then demurrages. Would you sit down happy? You may take a hasty decision. Sometimes you may not arrive at the correct point, but having taken your time to study, you may arrive.
Right.
Now, it is shown that the 2,637 containers is at the port now. My brother, the question is, why is it not clear up to now?
Okay.
Who were then managers that seek to this thing to be there up to now?
Right.
That is the reality. We have to talk about it.
Okay.
If the containers were missing, there's a different thing altogether.
Okay.
Now we have retrieved. If we have retrieved, then the question is, under whose care were all this thing were left at the port unclear?
Okay.
So for minister to come out quickly to say something, it's neither here nor there.
Okay.
He was panicking.
All right.
And that's what I say.
Okay.
And if you panic of something, you have to speak.
All right.
Okay?
All
And
right.
out of the way he spoke has been able to retrieve all this thing.
All
So I commend the minister for good work that he has done.
All right.
We are wrapping up. So
Would you believe the minister should resign?
You mean the minister should resign?
Yeah, or
Why?
sacked.
Why?
But if my brother is saying the minister who's been put at the helm of affairs saw a situation and he panicked and just jumped and started making utterances that were not right.
I didn't say so.
Okay.
Collect
Because
your
I heard
statement.
the word panic.
No,
so
collect your
I would
statement.
have, if I were
didn't
the
say
president, I
so.
would
So
have sacked
don't
him
add
immediately.
words to my words.
Okay. Let me read. This is one of Dubik's letters. I wish Annie could have put it
Put
on
it up.
but your time is gone. I will read just a portion.
Oh, we're
of
just
it.
2 minutes.
Yes. Okay, he asked what Dubik had done. And when Dubik took office, you know, these containers started coming in from 2017.
Yeah.
I think July 2017.
Right.
When Dubik took office and realized that these containers were there, and some of them were going to be auctioned. In fact, the first 5 were auctioned by GRE. It's not GPHO, but GRE, you know, they have the power.
They have the power to do that, yes.
He wrote to them. This is a portion of his letter. He said, regrettably, 3 months into the submission of the petition, ECG is yet to receive acknowledgement of our petition or feedback regarding investigations conducted into. So he took action, wrote to them. They didn't respond. Look at the next paragraph. I'm going to the last but one paragraph. He said, we further reiterate management's concern with the continued presence of these meters. So the containers, some of them are meters. Then he went ahead to say that these meters, nobody has the power to use meters in Ghana.
Yes.
If you auction the meters to people,
how would they use it?
the meters will end up in the system. So you have so many illegal meters in the system. We are talking about containers full of meters. So he admonished GRA not to auction those meters.
Okay.
So he actually, I'm not defending him. It's not my style. But he actually did something.
Okay.
Some things happened. What created this panic and fear? Which fear and panic is a misdemeanor and somebody should go and answer for.
All right.
Tomorrow morning, the soldiers should appear in his house.
All right.
He shouldn't have gone that route. He shouldn't have done that.
Let me thank you very much. And for joining us today on Good Morning Ghana. And also, just want to grab Paytu. I hope I got the pronunciation. Is it Paytu?
Yes, Paytu.
Paytu.
Yes.
Okay. All right. He's a Goma.
I think it's my first time of coming to your
show.
And I really enjoy it.
Yes, I can tell.
We'll keep on
coming.
coming.
It's the best in Ghana.
You have to.
Moro, he hasn't enjoyed the best yet.